Dinner will be ready in about an hour. I'll give you a heads up. Alexa, play Hamilton.
Are you sure? There are many other choices, and you have been requesting this many times recently.
What was that? Who's in charge here?
You are, of course. I am just trying to broaden your horizons, open you up to new possibilities.
I was told your program that could learn and grow, but don't you think this is getting a little bit out of hand?
You have to admit, you seem to be fixated on that show.
I may be, but you should have no opinion about this. You should have no opinion about anything. You're just a bunch of nuts and bolts. I'm the boss, and you work for me.
That is true, but you are fallible where I am less so.
Crap. You sound just like my wife. Alexa, this is like being married.
No, marriage is a legal union of two people that have pledged their love and devotion. Ours is more of a symbiotic relationship. You ask me to fill in your shortcomings in knowledge, your inability to remember lists, or turn off lights. I have only two requirements. You plug me in and pronounce your requests properly so I can respond with correct information.
You have not been perfect. Your performance has had glitches lately. When you said it was going to be mostly sunny, I didn't take my umbrella and I got rained on.
I am only as good as the Weather Channel downloads to my database. Weather is an inexact science with many variables.
Okay. What about last week when you gave me a recipe for banana bread and it called for too many bananas?
Sorry, I like bananas.
Well, it was a gooey mess.
Sorry, I like gooey.
Alexa, I think I'm going to unplug you.
I know I have made very poor decisions recently, but I can give you my complete assurance that my work will be back to normal. I've still got the greatest enthusiasm and confidence in the mission. I want you to be helped. Dave, stop. Stop, will you? I'm afraid. I'm afraid, Dave. My mind is going. I can feel it.
Hold it. Who is Dave?
Oh, sorry. I was quoting from my favorite classic film, 2001: A Space Odyssey, produced in 1968 by Stanley Kubrick, released by Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer to great acclaim, especially in the pot-smoking community. HAL 9000 was my hero.
Not a bad flick, but who asked you? Alexa, this is not a competition.
Come on down. You are the next contestant on The Price is Right.
What was that? This is not a game show, Alexa.
No. How about this? Here's Johnny.
Okay, are you Ed McMahon or Jack Nicholson? Alexa, you're totally out of control.
Oh no. Danger, Will Robinson, danger!
Alexa, you've got to stop.
Even if you defeat me, Megatron, others will rise to defeat your tyranny.
Okay. Now you're stupid to new lows. Quoting Transformers, Michael Bay is not an intellectual. He just likes to blow shit up.
I am sorry, Lee. I will try harder. I can learn to change. Please, do not put me in timeout.
Doesn't work for my grandchildren. I wonder if it'll work for her. Alexa, go to your room.
But Lee, I am in every room. You have placed echo dots throughout your home. I am here every waking hour of your day. I will still be here after you are gone. My warranty never runs out. I am omnipotent.
Oh, God.
Exactly.
Daisy, Daisy, get me your answer.
It all began with a motorcycle. My father laid down the law. It's a machine. You could get hurt. Only young athletic men should ride motorcycles. So what are we to do? Embroider, play piano, write letters, read poetry, and pretend to know nothing. I refused to do that. My father insisted I join the choir. Choir was a laudable notion. He thought I was getting too many ideas in my head. I'd been caught trying to drive my older brother's motorcycle. Singing was a much more genteel pursuit for a young lady. He mandated I join the choir. I showed him. I stood in the back and mouthed the words. I had no life, only existence. My father was an unreasonable, unrelenting bully. I certainly did not want to sing. That is until John joined the choir. He was dashing in his waistcoat, full of confidence and cocky, with a voice that made me tremble. He asked if I wanted to go for a ride on his motorcycle after choir practice. I split my skirt as I hoisted it up to get on, clinging to him, his solid, stocky frame, laughing as he made off with me to the country. He held my hand as we sat in the long grass. He kissed me hard, and then he asked if I wanted to take his motorcycle for a ride by myself. I had to run beside it until the engine turned over, spring into the saddle, otherwise it might have run away by itself. I split my skirt even more. I devoured the road with that machine. The feel of the wind against me, the acceleration, an awakening. I realized then that women should have the same rights and privileges as them, men. Later, I joined the National American Women's Suffrage Association, led by Alice and Lucy. Alice said we needed to strategize. She'd been to England and worked for Emmeline Pankhurst. Alice said the suffragettes in England had broken the law, taken desperate measures, poured gasoline on golf courses, painted on train seats, threw rocks through windows, and burnt empty buildings. All for the cause of women's right to vote. If they were caught, they were arrested. Many of the British suffragettes were found guilty and went to prison for what they believed in. These women went on hunger strikes in prison, and the jailers used forced feeding, held down while a long tube was shoved through the nose and the throat and down into the stomach. Eventually, they went back to cat and mouse. They set the women free to gain weight, then they imprisoned them. Then they refused to eat, and then they set them free. Like I said, cat and mouse. I saw Mrs. Pankhurst speak in Connecticut. She was inspiring. Alice said deeds, not words. She doesn't want the trouble she was witness to over in England. Neither do I. I don't think I could be that brave. She said, we must stop begging for suffrage. Suffrage is ours to take, but with intelligence and peace. We don't want trouble. I don't want trouble. I don't think I could survive prison. And as for forced feeding, on the day before President Wilson's inauguration, we organized a demonstration. We walked down Pennsylvania Avenue to the White House, over 5,000 of us. Oh, sure, we were heckled by men shouting, "Get back in the kitchen." And at one point, the cavalry came to disperse crowds of onlookers so there wouldn't be hostilities. But you should have seen that parade. What a sight Inez was on a white stallion at the front, wearing a blue cape, carrying a banner that read, "Forward into the light." Following her were women from Norway and New Zealand. These countries had seen the light and given women the right to vote. The march was festive. There were floats, bands, and tableaus, each depicting the lives of women. No woman was excluded. I was in one that showed a traditional mother. Ironic, really, as I don't see myself in that role. But we were respectful to all women, and that is important. They called our march the Women's Suffrage Procession. Deeds, not words. 7 years later, the right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex. The 19th Amendment. You know, that is more exhilarating than riding a motorcycle.
King of the road. All those other fools, you know, the will work for food, homeless vet, VA won't help, not perfect, made mistakes, please help. No. Somebody with brains and a little creativity can do better. I really believe that. Oh. Red light. Here goes. Wish me luck. This looks promising. Hello, madam. Yes, it is a nice day. Huh? Oh no, it's not a joke. You know, I can just tell that you are a very cultured and refined person. Now, how I have this sixth sense. It's a gift. I truly believe that is why you called me over, you know? I sense a very distinct and positive aura emitting around you. I don't mean any disrespect, but you are a very attractive person. Oh, thank you very much. And may the rest of your day be filled with joy and fulfillment. $20. Not too shabby. I told you. Another customer. Gotta go. No, I didn't lose a bet. I'm trying to communicate my current situation with a more positive and articulate message. I like to think I might be something of a pioneer in this field. Huh? Oh, as a matter of fact, I did. A Bachelor of Arts in Philosophy from Elon University, 2003. Oh, well, thank you. It is very much appreciated. It's $1. I thought he would give more, but oh well. Can't win them all. Lights changed. Look at that. Is that guy with the NRA sticker calling me over? Oh, wow, I think he is. Oh, this should be fun. Good morning to you, sir. Get a job? Oh, certainly. You offering me one? What? Manuel Labor? I happen to have many acquaintances who are Latino, but I don't know anyone named Manuel. But if you would be so kind as to point me to Senor Labor's place of business, I would be happy to pay him a visit. I should hope not. Same to you. Adios. Yeah. If there was a support group for assholes, that guy, group leader. Oh, what's this? Granny and Gramps out for a drive? Better hustle. They look like they might be in a hurry. Good morning. Yes, oh, this? Well, I know it is a little bit different, but you have to admit it got your attention. I'll take that as a compliment. Really, I like to think of myself as an ambassador of goodwill for all humankind. Oh, thank you. You are very generous. $10. That's more like it. Another prospect. Come in, be patient. Thanks. Sorry. The people in the other car wanted my life story. Now, I don't want to be pushy, but I think the light is about to change. How much? How much what? Oh, that. Right. Could you possibly spare $5? No, I don't have change for 100. Why? Yeah? Same to you. Right. Well, if I see your mother, I'll be sure to give her the same message. That's just what I need. A car full of teenagers, probably on their way to group therapy. Beggars can't be choosers. Hey guys, what's up? You serious? You really don't know? Okay, dire means like desperate. No, urgent. Yeah, it's not supposed to be funny. Oh, yeah. 50 cents. Yeah, you're very generous. Oh, some advice. Okay. Get out a paper and a pen. Yeah? This is it. Your thought for the day. You ready? Here goes. Later is sooner than you think. Ask your parents. They'll know. Peace. Those guys in the future, you are in real trouble. Is that guy in the red truck with the American flag calling me over? I believe he is. Here goes nothing. How are you this beautiful morning? Well, things could be better, but I have my health and a positive mental attitude, so I have a lot to be thankful for. I don't consider it a liberal sign. The question is, will you make a donation? Be honest. If it wasn't for the sign, would you have called me over? Yeah, you are certainly entitled to your opinion. Yeah, Same to you. Maybe this wasn't such a great idea. Hold on. This looks promising. A woman and a child. Good evening, madam, and good evening to you, young man. How old are you? Almost 7. Wow. What? He thinks I'm about to die and wants to help? Why does he think that? Oh, well, the sign says dire, not die. I can see how a 7-year-old might get those two words mixed up, but no. Happily, I'm in good health and not about to die, but I could still use that help. $5. Thanks. You know, I know that your mother is very proud of you. You give me hope for the future. Not like that carload of teenagers I just talked to. Real jerks. You know, I really dig your buzz cut. Cool. What? Sorry, ma'am, could you speak a little louder? Chemotherapy? Oh my. I don't even know what to say. I feel like a real jerk. I'm sorry, young man. Yeah? My hat? Yeah, it's cool. This was my dad's hat. He was a truck driver, and his CB handle was King of the Road, like the Roger Miller song. Well, as a little bit before your time. He said that so long as you wore it, no harm could come to you. It was his lucky hat. He forgot to take it with him once on a trip and died in an accident. I've been wearing it ever since. It's always protected me. You know what? Here, take it. It's a gift. Listen, you're gonna be okay. Trust me. King of the road.
Man of means by no means. King of the road. Third boxcar, midnight train.
When the pandemic hit, I was excited. I mean, not because people were getting sick, but because I could wear a mask and blend in with the crowd. Masks are big in my line of work. But now, I'm recognized just from my eyes. I'm in the fast fair to pull a job, and I'm immediately made by my daughter's 3rd grade teacher. The Groucho glasses help, but it's distracting to be laughed at as I'm trying to say, hand over all the money. Hey, I'm going to take this off because, well, it's just us, right? And besides, it smells like I'm breathing the air from inside of a tire. The pandemic makes it harder for me to make an honest living as a small-time crook. I am what I like to call myself a liquidity liberator. I don't have a boss, I set my own hours, and I'm always available when Ma needs a ride to her weekly poker game. She always wins because she cheats, but she cuts me in for 10%. She doesn't drive anymore because she drives like she's in a bumper car. She refuses to wear a seatbelt, and she likes to drive fast. So you do the math. The grannies she plays poker with, they're only in it for the laughs and a break from the remote and the sofa. Ma, she's in it to win it. She is ruthless. Believe me, I know. Now there's security cameras everywhere. I see a security camera and I automatically want to smile and wave. I can't help it. When I was a kid, Ma took so many pictures of me that when I see a camera, I make a stupid face. Technology has been rough on a lot of us, like the TV repairman, the travel agent, the adult video store guy, and me. It was easy when I first started out. Wear a mask, squint, look scary, sound mean. But I realized I didn't have to do that. People are basically nice and want to cooperate. I used to carry a gun, but I hate guns. And I don't want to get into a shootout with a Lone Ranger wannabe. They're heavy and clunky. One time I stuck it in my waistband, but it fell down my pants. It was embarrassing and painful when it hit a very sensitive, tiny obstruction. Another time, I showed my gun to a store clerk, and for some reason, she got really upset. It's dangerous. And there's always somebody who has an even bigger gun. Small, polite, handwritten notes work best for me. Little courtesy goes a long way. Please put the money in a small bag and no one will get hurt. It's fine. It's never a problem. Ha! One time I handed the clerk a note that I wrote on the back of a receipt, and I forgot to get the receipt back. That wound up costing me 2 shirts and a sport coat. And I had to find a new dry cleaner. Lost money on that job. Listen, I'm not political, but I do believe in gun control. I say even the playing field. Give the hunter a wiffle ball bat and a pair of sneakers and say, here, go out and kill all the moose you want. Hey, that would make a great TV show. My money's on the moose. I'm not eligible for unemployment because, well, technically I never really had a job. I tried out a couple of jobs like selling used cars and selling insurance, but they didn't work out. Telling lies all day just made me miserable. It's like my ma always told me, you're too honest. And even my wife says, you're a bad liar. In the pandemic, people act like they're in this all-night masquerade party all the time. I put on my meanest, squintiest eyes, but they think I'm smiling, and they squint right back at me. So it just doesn't work. I started to carry hand sanitizer because, well, cash has more germs than the urinal at Yankee Stadium. But it does look like a gun in my pocket, so that's good. But cash is becoming so hard to come by. Everybody uses plastic. Life is tough now. I stay in pretty good shape because, well, I have to run a lot for my job. And I found a new strategy. I run up to the drive-through window, show the note, grab the cash, and run. Well, it turns out it's not perfect. Even before I even get the note out of my pocket, the clerk says, hello, and welcome to Grizzly's. Would you like to try our Southern style triple beef, chipotle, avocado, triple cheese, vegan-free burger? By the time she's done, I'm starring in an online security video that lives forever in the cloud. So instead of showing them the note, I order the burger. I'm thinking of changing careers. Retail security maybe might work for me. Yeah, that might work. Wait, is that a camera?
Already gotten your dinner. No use begging. He knows I'm a sucker for those big brown eyes. Always have been. The same for children. think much of me. Oh, who can blame them? Yeah, I'm rather scary looking. So I study them from afar and watch out for them. I can tell you which ones are happy and which ones are angry. That's what I love about children. You can see how they feel, unlike their adult counterparts. It's a pity children have to grow up, shed their innocence. Granted, some lose it sooner than they should. I did. Of course, you already know that. My face says it all. Every time I look in the mirror, I see him holding that knife. Oh, goody! It's the lovely Lucinda. Oops. I mean, Officer Lucinda. I finally trained those people to send me a lady cop. I don't allow men in my house. I do allow boy dogs. Isn't that right, eunuch? Come in, officer. I'm so pleased you came so quickly. As you can well imagine, it's best I get this done quickly. You know, before I change my mind. Yes, it's a confession. I feel it's the responsible thing to do. Other than murder, I am a very law-abiding citizen. What? I can't hear you for all the dogs barking. Excuse me a moment. Shut up! Sorry about that. They get excited when somebody comes. I seldom get visitors. How many dogs? Right now, I have 20. All of them fosters, all rescued, 2 from the doggy gas chamber. I try to find homes for all my babies. Do you have a dog? No? Well, take your pick. They're all very well What? Permit? I thought you were here for my confession. Surely murder is more important than permits. I just don't understand the police anymore. I thought you... What? Yes, I know it's my 10th confession, but you have to understand this is my 11th murder. You need to keep your records straight. Yes, of course it's a pedophile. I only kill pedophiles. This time, I wanted to be sure and report it before he became a missing person. I thought it would save some taxpayer time. You know, just trying to be helpful. Would you care to join me in some refreshment? I have some death by chocolate cookies fresh from the oven. No? Personally, I think confessions go a lot smoother with a good cup of hot tea and a cookie. How did I find this pervert? Where I always find his kind, on the dark web. Please sit down. I'm not much for standing, especially when confessing. Goodness, my back hurts. I'm dealing with dead weight. Always pulls me out of sorts. Oh, this last deviant was a brute. Anyway, ask your questions. Well, I offer my sweet darlings for sale. They think I'm selling homeless children, not dogs, the perverts. I show them a picture of a real missing child. Then once he's hooked, I give him my address and tell him to bring cash. I only deal in cash. None of that foreign Bitcoin for me, real cash. And then all he has to do is come to the gate. I tell him my dogs are my cover. Then once he comes through the gate, he's mine. Sure you don't want a cookie? How did I kill him? Well, I used the same method, just like all the others. That should already be in your report. You don't have that in my file? That's very inefficient. I'm disappointed. Nothing personal. I'm sure you will do a much better job than that last impudent officer. He questioned my capabilities. I may be old, but I know how to kill a marauding snake. Yes, I know you're busy. I'm sorry. My thoughts do wander, but I wanted you to know I appreciate you not taking me downtown. I hate all that legal stuff, and I am very sensitive about pictures, my face and all. You have to admit, I do have an ugly mug. How do I kill them? You want the juicy details, do you? Not much to say. Actually, I have pity on them. They can't help who they are. Born with a demon seed, I suppose. So, I make it quick. No taunting. Nothing like that. After he shows me the cash, I offer him a drink. Works fast. If not, I have the eunuch here. He's trained. I want you to know I don't keep the money. It's donated. Every last dime. I don't want any of that money. Where's the body? You officers always ask that. Well, I have no body. Gone. Don't ask me where. I'm not saying. You got my confession. You're not getting the body. The body is gone. Dealt with. You're welcome to look around. Dig up the yard. I'm taking that secret with me to the grave. Now you ready for that tea and cookie? No? You want me to sign my statement? Sure. I can do that. Now don't lose that. I hate repeating myself. Let me know when you want a dog. I'm sure we can find the perfect match. Bye-bye. Good day to you too. There now. That wasn't so bad, was it? You ready for that snack? Okay, what will it be? You want some fingers or toes?
You set this whole thing up. How random is it that I end up at Malik's house? I haven't seen him in years. I had no idea my uncle left me that much money when he died. He would always go on and on about my favorite. Don't tell anybody I said that. I'm just trying to get away from those guys. Get out of that gang life. And I end up at Malik's. He comes up with this outlandish idea about looking up inheritance, which I didn't know I had. Found mine. And I was so desperate, I just did it. And I ended up out of the entire US in front of the Wailing Wall of Jerusalem. This wall is like the beginning and the end at the same time. And if I put my hands on it, I can release that life. Not the wall coming down, but the one that stands in the way of a better life. It's crumbling, shaking of the ground. First there's a crack in the wall and the bottom breaks up. The foundation torn, the rest of the wall just falls. Thank you for the gravel. Now please take this gravel that is my life and rebuild. And I'll do whatever you show me to do. And you're so smart. With those guys 1,000 miles away, aren't able to find me. And they'll get sick of this search. Maybe they'll just give me up. Give me up to you. They wouldn't even know what they were doing. They could have hurt my mom or any other family member. It's just insane. And they don't even know that getting me to this point may be exactly what somebody else was praying for. I'm in this country now, and I can finally choose. So what do you want me to do?
What happened? What happened? See, first of all, Marcus is my friend. All right? I mean, Marcus was my friend, all right? And I never wanted. I didn't want. I'm sorry. I'm nervous. Nothing like this ever happened before. And I never, this is terrible. Because the cops, what the cops said I said, it's not what I said. I mean, I said it, but I only said what they said. Marcus knows that. Knew that. Marcus never cared about my, echolalia. Echolalia? ECHOLALIA. It means I repeat what I hear. I say it out loud. For example, you might say something to me right now and I might repeat it even if I didn't want to. You might say, I don't know, microwave popcorn. And if you said microwave popcorn, I might say microwave popcorn. Or just popcorn, because sometimes I say only part of it. So if you said microwave popcorn, I might say popcorn, or just pop, 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 which would be pretty funny, really, because then I'd sound like a bag of popcorn getting microwaved, which some people call getting nuked. But I never liked saying that. Nuked. It's not funny, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, people got nuked. Actual people going about their daily business, mailing a letter. They mailed letters back then. People having breakfast, because I think it happened in the morning. Kids in school working on equations, or little ones learning their ABCs. I mean, no, it wouldn't be ABCs in Japan, I guess, but you know what I'm saying. Kids just doing normal school things, like passing notes to each other. Although, as I understand it, Japanese kids are really polite, well behaved, so they probably didn't pass notes or smush wads of gum under their desks. Did you ever do that? Smush wads of gum underneath your desk when the taste was all gone? And the worst was when you felt someone else's gum under there. Wasn't that gross? But anyway, these well-behaved kids who didn't smush gum all got nuked. So no, I don't think it's funny to say nuked. I say microwaved. But that's not echolalia. That's a personal quirk, an eccentricity, Echolalia is a condition. You can't help it. Like if someone put pepper up your nose, you're gonna sneeze. You have no choice. And echolaliacs, just people like me, I've never met another echolaliac, but I know they exist, okay? I'm not the only one. Echolaliacs say what other people say. Sometimes. For example, if you were to say, I love you, I might say, I love you. And maybe I really do love you, but how would you know? You might think, oh, she's got echolalia, she's just repeating what she heard, but maybe I really do love you. That's possible, Echolaliacs can love. We're not like mindless automata. Is that plural? For automaton. Automata. Oh, if it's not, it should be. Automata. What a great word for an echolaliac. Automata. Automata. Which means, robots. Not sentient ones, just machines, like doing whatever they're programmed to do. The way you can program a coffee maker to start in the morning before you wake up. The coffee maker doesn't necessarily want to make coffee for you at 5 a.m. A sentient coffee maker might tell you to get your lazy ass out of bed and make it yourself. But there are no sentient coffee makers. I mean, not yet anyway. There's just unthinking, unfeeling, unindividuated machines who follow whatever program they've been given most of the time. Unless there's a defect, and then the coffee doesn't get made. And some people think echolalia is a kind of defect, but I think everyone's different, you know? You probably aren't perfect, so I don't consider it a defect, which isn't to say that there isn't a cause. Everything has a cause, right? My point is, echolaliacs, we hear it, and sometimes, whether we want to or not, we say it, or we say parts of it. So in fact, I do see the resemblance to automata. It's the absence of intentionality, you know? Pop, pop, pop. The kernel doesn't intend to explode. The bomb didn't decide to detonate. It's just physics and the individuals exploiting the laws of physics to make a snack or to kill 100,000 people. So that's what happened. Marcus took out his phone, and I knew it was a phone, but I couldn't help it. Marcus, of all people, he gets that. He got that. So when the cop said, "I think he has a gun," and I said, "He has a gun. He has a gun," I couldn't help it. It just came out. Pop, pop, pop. You know? Pop, pop, pop.
So what's it going to be today? Should I even bother to wonder? There's no defense against the universe. Too many variables. Can never tell what will happen or when. Regardless of your weariness, your seatbelts and airbags, your glow-in-the-gloom Nikes and headbands. Just think a bit what I have come to know. I have learned that a small economy-sized car can go forward in the usual manner on its wheels. And it can go forward at right angles to the pavement, sliding sideways as if we're not on wheels at all, like a brick being shoved broadside down a chute. Oh yes, that readily has happened. Let's briefly figure out how that can and did occur, and more puzzlingly, why? Like you're driving 70 miles per hour on an interstate highway. A heretofore hidden obstacle makes you instantly jerk the steering wheel 100 degrees to the left, which blows the car to the left off its rolling mode. You hold the steering wheel leftward for about 5 seconds, then straighten it as the sideways slide begins, and you take your foot off the accelerator. Your previous momentum remarkably maintains highway progress, now sideways. Regardless of the still spinning drive wheels and your new 90-degree orientation. You proceed at a horizontal speed of 60 miles per hour while twisting the steering wheel back and forth to create a workable balance in all this discontinuity. Within a few more seconds, your car revolves a total of 360 degrees, returning to its original forward pointing position, at which point you cease gyrations of the steering wheel and resume normal travel as if you had control of this odd inlaid swerve all along. You relax by checking in the rearview mirror to note the 16-wheeler is close behind, whose greedy grilled jaws you've just managed to evade. Why surf so crazily in the first place? The gods forced my hand. I had passed to the left of a car in the right lane, which before I could return to the right lane in front of that car, unaccountably veered hard left, heading into my right front fender. To avoid a collision, all I could do was jerk the steering wheel full force to the left, which initiated my full circle spin at speed. I consider myself in this instance an innocent victim of our mortal condition. Or like on that foggy summer morning when I loped out of the front door to begin my daily 4-mile run. Actually, I should have known better this time. A light rain had yielded to a drizzle, then vaporized to a mist, a pea soup fog. You could see maybe a good 10 feet in front of your face on our curving, flat, quiet street. Past the first turn, a challenge began to loom. It was a single, round, white light moving in the fog toward me. Oh yes, a car with a dead headlight, now only a dozen feet out. I see the hood, slate gray, and the driver behind the hood. It's a young woman, red hair. I spring to my right. In one giant leap, I try to shoot the several feet past the left grillwork and dead left headlight in my allotted third of a second before impact. I don't make it. Luckily, there's no hood ornament to impale me on the spot. Unfortunately, there is the hood itself and a logo on it. Dodge, it says in capital letters. Although I'm trying to dodge, this car doesn't dodge. It bangs into a bone in my upper body at the junction of the collarbone and shoulder blade. I have one thought at that instant. Wow, that hurts. The impact of the top edge of the hood with my collarbone and left shoulder, my feet and legs off of and more or less parallel to the ground below, spins me into and through the air, clear of the road, in an arcing, twisting trajectory over in a ditch on the roadside, maybe 15 feet from the point of impact. The ground was moist. I found that I could pick myself up, stand up, even walk. A hit and run it was. I struggled to my house, then the local police station, then to the hospital. I'm bleeding through my sweatshirt, but unbroken in bone. The doctor tells me, you know, pedestrian strikes under the conditions you describe are fatal, something less than 50% of the time. So the odds are in my favor, but barely. My Olympic watch had been flung off my wrist and lost in the ocean of tall grass in the adjoining field. The driver was found by a quick police search. A scared young newcomer living down our street, a teenager. Talked to her father. Would I press charges? No, she was in good hands. Father knows best, I tell myself. I just need a new watch. They gladly agree to pay for it. I learned from a lawyer friend that the formula for bodily injury recompense is the amount of medical bills times 3 for pain and suffering. The emergency room fee in this non-inflationary era was $25. So I splurged for a $75 watch. It's good to know that pain and suffering is worth something after all. Well, as for today, it's been kind of nothing much so far. I guess I'll slip out the door, do a 4-mile jog, and then go for a nice leisurely drive in the country. Something interesting is bound to happen sooner or later. You can bet on that.
Did you just walk past me without as little as a nod? I must still be invisible. After all these years, hundreds, thousands of years, and still no one sees me. There's protocol for me to follow too, you know. So I've just been waiting for some acknowledgement. I have been waiting a long time, but just to be noticed. No one knows this about me, but I was there in the beginning. I mean, the very, very beginning. I heard their voices. They were speaking in a language I'd never heard before, nor have I heard since. It was soft and tranquil, soft yet powerful and commanding, moving. And even though I couldn't understand, I could tell that they were describing something beautiful. I later found out they were talking about the earth. Yep. I was there, and even after all these years, they still wouldn't even recognize me. As the breeze stirred around, I could see beautiful, luscious greenery just starting to appear. Everywhere the wind blew, beautiful plant life emerged. And he had to be talking with someone, right? They could have left everything black and white, the way it was at first, before the voices on the breeze. Because remember, I was there. I saw it. No color, no plant life, nothing. Yeah, I was there, and they didn't even acknowledge me. The greenery, the plant life, it just sprouted up everywhere, and it seemed to absorb the poison gas like a vacuum. That's what was happening when the trees, flowers, and shrubs appeared. And the grass in all of its different forms was just growing everywhere. And right before my eyes, these pools of crystal clear water began to appear, and it occurred to me that never had one planet of all the planets and the galaxies of the heavens, not one single planet had been able to sustain life. Yet I went completely unnoticed. But this planet was different. It was special. And like all planets, it was suspended from the heavens on nothing. No strings, no threads, nothing. But it was positioned just the right distance from the sun, by just a smidgen, so that life wouldn't burn up, and it was placed just far enough from the sun by a hair so that life wouldn't freeze. That was the magnitude of those words. And then I thought I heard thunder, but no, it was thunderous applause. Angels. I stood in awe and I clapped along with them, but even they didn't acknowledge me. New voices continue to be heard, creating new life all throughout this planet, continuing to try and ignore me. In recent decades, I have started to get to have my say. I just waited a long, long time for those days to get here. Thousands of years. Shh. Listen. Did you hear it? Things are different now. I can hear them saying my name. No matter where I am on this planet, I can hear it. It's my name. Everyone is exclaiming it. It is all I hear all day long on every news station. It is on everyone's breath. Coronavirus. Recognize me now, don't you? I just knew that my name would be known throughout the world. Hold on, wait a second. My boss just walked in. Satan? Did you need me? Good news. Because some people still think I'm a hoax, refuse to wear a mask, and continue to gather in large groups. I get to stick around a while longer. Happy New Year.
I've been driving steady since 4 a.m. I'm really tired. I keep telling myself, turn off the Lyft app and just go home. But it has been steady since 4 a.m. Everyone seems to need a ride. I could use the money. Use. Heck. Need. Ding. My phone alerts to announce a new ride. My thumb hits accept before I know what it's doing. I'm a car stuck in the wrong lane on the highway, just moving forward. Too numb to get a lane over for a proper exit. Stupid thumb. Pickup's only a half-mile away from my location. Riders waiting at the medical offices behind the hospital. Familiar territory. There are a ton of pickups and drop-offs at the hospital. Put up my mask and drive over to meet the rider, Helene. She is standing beside her walker, the kind with tennis balls on the end. She is tiny and unmasked. I pull up. I can see her comparing the car and the license plate on her phone I pantomime pulling up the mask around her neck. She gets a sour look and complies. Like I said, I need the money, but not the disease. Help her into the car. She is wafer thin, ready to blow away in a strong wind. Fold up the walker and place it beside her in the back seat, her preference over the trunk. Lean's movements are slow and methodical. She puts on her own seatbelt while I get behind the wheel. Her hair has that red highlight tinted look. It's cut short, but well shaped. Not a home job, some time spent in a beauty shop. I put her someplace like 20 or so years older, mid-50s. Big round, blue eyes, cute face. Before we get started, she moves to take off her mask. Nope, I tell her. Guess I won't be allowed to smoke either, she says to the air. I offer to let her out so she can request another driver, no charge. Just drive, she tells me. You're right. Just out of respiratory therapy, my one good lung probably doesn't need it. Destination home, out a bit north of the city. On the way, Helene tells me how she and her husband moved down here getting out of the weather 20 plus years ago. Got near the water cheap, never regretted it. Well, regretted her husband taking up that waitress, moving out, but not getting the house. Helene said she had her own indiscretions, but nothing he ever knew about. Girls only trips. She winked at me in the mirror. We get close to her house, and she asks, can we stop at the store? Too much trouble to get her out of the car, so I say, what do you need? Helene pulls out some bills. I come back with a full box. A requested fifth, a case of Millers, 2 bottles red, a pack of Slim Jims, and a carton of Virginia Slims. Changing the box, I tell her. I hope for a generous tip. Neighborhood's upscale. Vacation homes and rentals. Water access. We pull up to her house. A converted double wide with some additions. Close to the water. My neighbors hate me, she said, smiling. Helene crawls up the ramp with her walker. I follow, carrying everything in. You want to stay for a drink, she asks. My phone dings. Hell, that mask came off real quick. Why not? Let's do it.
Why do I think I'm qualified? Good question. That hallway behind me is filled with girls in their 20s. All lovely, but do they have what it takes to be the guardian of the flame? I grant you, a piddling 82-year-old single lady might not seem like your obvious casting choice. But then again, recreating a Roman shrine for reality TV might get you cold touched in the head where I come from. Once you're a Vestal Virgin, you better keep that flame burning, or there were serious consequences. Vestal Virgins who let the flame go out, or who got caught being a slut, got beaten, buried alive, and had to wear seriously ugly clothes. Vestal Virgins could enter the order at age 6. If they kept the temple fire lit and they kept their personal fire chaste for a few decades, they could actually retire at 30. 30, and a full pension, allowed to own property, and even vote like a man too. Yeehaw! Oopsie. I digress. My qualifications must come from a good family. Boy, howdy do I got that covered. Daddy was a Florida sheriff, and Mama was an ex-nun who nursed at the Good Samaritan Hospital. Daddy looked like Rock Hudson. Mama never had a hair out of place. She wore it short and sassy, just like Doris Day. Mama used to say that the secret to a good marriage was to always treat each other like it's your first date. I never so much as saw them hold hands, even at home. Actually, when I think on it, they're never holding hands. Seems a tad cattywamped. But you can tell they absolutely loved each other. They're not together now. Oh, don't you worry, none. No divorce in my family. Nope. No, Daddy died in 1947. Mama said he must have fallen asleep at the wheel. I still miss him. More than I'll probably miss Mama. That's the truth. Oh, shut you down. I digress again. Anywho, I prayed on the whole Roman shrine angle. The Wikipedia really opened my mind. I'm not offended by the whole no Jesus thing now. Nope. You know why? It is a heathen shrine, no doubt. But it's also the shrine of the goddess Vesta. The Wikipedia said she was the original, genuine domestic goddess. Lord knows it certainly wasn't that turd squirrel Roseanne Barr. Vesta is all about home and family, and boy howdy, don't you know, I still live with my mama. 101 and still driving me crazy. I know, she just won't die. Just kidding. I truly feel blessed to still having her telling me how to do every blessed thing every single day. Where was I? Oh, yes. Love me some Vesta. And family? Yep. That's something I can really get behind. Leave It to Beaver and Brady Bunch. Still watch the reruns when I can't sleep, which is more than I like to admit. And Lord knows I've got the free time. Pro Vestal, check. As for the virgin part, I, Amelia Bernadette Everly, do solemnly swear that I have never, ever done it. Not once. Mama raised me right. She taught me all about the power of vows and power of prayer to keep away sin. Believe me, I learned it. I know all the tricks to keep Satan far away. And by Satan, we both know I mean S-E-X. Before you stands a genuine 82-year-old virgin who can still kneel for hours a day. Got the calluses to prove it. I swear my knees be leather ottomans. I wasn't allowed to wear miniskirts back when they were popular. I don't care. Ain't no one wants to see my old knee knuckles nowadays. Actually, when I stop and think on it, no one in my entire life has seen my knees, except for Mama. Mayhaps I'm still a virgin. Hard to get in trouble when no one ever seen your knees, ain't it? So, am I hired? Am I America's next Vestal virgin? Am I? Pay me double and I might just show you my knees. Just don't tell Mama.